Today's session is about how to scale up your exports. My name is Sonil Jain, and I'm the founder and ideator of Sowtex Network. Much more, I would like to introduce our first special panelist here, Sandeep Kaushik. Sandeep Kaushik is an export growth coach and is also a founder of Winning Mantra. They run a special online platform which is helping businesses to accelerate the growth on the export side and also helping companies to understand how to infuse knowledge and different verticals in their particular businesses. They are doing across various segments in the business. Today we have called them, today we have invited them on this panel to share this knowledge in terms of what textile businesses can do and how it can add value. Sandeep comes with 21 years of export experience. He's been exporting to about 97 countries. His book business, which is the Macau Books, is a renowned name and is currently available in 97 countries. And he's been exhibiting in more than 32 countries in the last few years. Apart from this, he's also an integral part of BNI Gurgaon region, where he's been training people at the Gurgaon level, at the regional level. His interest especially lies in travel, networking, building relationships. That is what he calls his passion. The next person is thank you so much, Sandeep, for coming and joining us. The second panelist with us is Mr. Gagan Kapoor. He is an exhibition consultant and a growth consultant. His company is into the Go for Growth. So his company is basically into the exhibition area for a very long point of time. He's a first generation entrepreneur and has an exhibition and is also an exhibition strategy coach. He's a certified business skills trainer with over 20 years of experience in the exhibition space and with over 7 years of experience in the training area. Gagan is a certified trainer from the Blair Singer Academy, America, and holds an MBA degree in marketing from IMI. Having spent about years in the exhibition industry and served over hundreds of customers across different segments, his company Serocop is also one of the key key players in this particular segment, and they have been in the business from almost 2010. Gagan also has a motto to help companies get faster ROI from exhibition and is now a first exhibition strategy coach in India, where he has helped business owners, SMEs and corporates with training programs, consulting assignments, and he's also got a new app which he has just announced very recently, which is called Sero VMS, which takes care of the exhibition visitor management and is one of the first in the industry. So welcome Gagan to this particular session today.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you very much for it.
Thank you so much. And today we start off with our session again with a same slide, which I normally take up because this is one of the very key slides. And it depicts nothing but an opportunity for us as to where we can build upon from here. We all see there is an export opportunity which is about $720 billion in terms of textiles and apparel sector. India holds about 34.7 billion. The lion's share is with China, of course. India is apparently lower in terms of apparel sector comparing to Bangladesh and Vietnam. But in terms of the holistically textiles and the apparel sector, it is still leveraging at $34.7 billion. So these were the numbers prior to the lockdown and the COVID scenarios. Knowing that what has happened in the last 3 months, there is a window of opportunity which has got opened up, new sectors which India never had an expertise upon, those have been built upon, new areas of growth have been built upon. And now what we are looking today, and as a part of today's session, we would like to explore as to how we can take up and change this landscape. Export is one of the key areas that we are all looking out for, and we would like to understand from our panelists today, both Gagan and Sandeep, to help us understand how we can scale up the exports for this particular area. So I like to call upon and ask Mr. Sandeep to start off and share his insight about the export front today.
Okay, thank you, Sonny. Would like to run a poll before actually start.
Sure, I would like to run a poll, and this poll is to all the people who are participating here. We would like to understand your particular area. What has been your export exposure at this point of time? So in case if you are into an export area, you have been in this export business, or you are a merchant exporter, or you are a support manufacturer in this particular vertical, whosoever, whatever industry you come from, do let us know. Also, in case if you are willing to start off on the export front, or you are wanting to have just the knowledge of this, whatever area that you come from, please let us know so that we can take the conversation and the experts can guide you in the same manner accordingly.
And of course, looking at the combination of people who are here, and majorly is people who are exporting, we're definitely going to talk in detail about what are the various factors which can actually help them grow their exports further. Now, normally the session is kept in a way that it is good for people who want to start and who have no knowledge about exports at all. And of course, keeping in mind everything for an exporter. So please bear with us if there is something which you don't really feel that is this something which is very, very simple and you know all about it. So yeah, so I'll begin with telling like what all we're going to cover today. We're going to talk about self-strength and market study in terms of understanding your own strengths about export. Are you ready for it? And what are the areas where you might need to improve to actually go up your exports? Second will be understanding global markets, finding out markets which are good for you, good for your product. Essentially, working on various parameters and shortlisting the countries. They might not be the countries you are thinking of, but they may be countries which come as a surprise to you. Because it's not always the US and UK and Europe, which are a great market for you. Maybe for your segment, there's a bigger market and a market where you have more opportunities. We'll tell you about how to be export ready. We talk about digital marketing strategies, especially for export purposes, because digital marketing is really, really a very new and amazing thing which we all have to use as exporter. We're going to talk about effective exhibitions, we're going to talk about virtual exhibitions and how you can have your maximum ROI from that. And of course, creating a sales funnel, converting your sales, getting orders, and finally we talk about project management tools and how you can build a great relationship with your people. So I'll begin my thing with talking about the self-strength study and the market study. This is where all of us have to actually look back at our products, our setup, and see whether we are absolutely ready. The first thing and the most important thing is why we should export. Something we should look forward to, as in like, are your products world class? Why do you want to start exporting? What is it that your competitors don't have? What is it which makes you special? Whether it is the raw material which you purchase, or the kind of conversion you do, or the amazing state-of-the-art factory you have. So you need to look at your why. And the why of your company and your product should be absolutely strong. Because then and only then, you will be able to scale it up. Because you know what is your strength and why you would like to export. Second one is your USP. Now, USP is not something we all call about great product, great service. All that are normal things which everyone will have. We actually go deep dive. You have to sit, relax, and think about it. That what is it something which makes you different from your competitors? Your competitors in India, your competitors in across the world. People who are into similar business. What makes you unique? Is it sustainability? Is it eco-friendly products? What is it which makes you unique? That's something which you need to really deep dive and work on that. Of course, you should be aware about the foreign trade policies. Now, India as a country has some amazing trade policies, and they have some trade policies with people across the world. As an export person, you should be absolutely aware about each and every policy. Why? I'm going to tell you in my next session. But this is something which is very, very critical for every exporter to know. Of course, you all should know the exact HSN code for you. As you all know who are exporter and who are new, that every product or every service you do, you have a unique HSN code. Essentially 6 codes which are actually common throughout the world, and based on the country, the next 2 or the last 4 are dependent on the different countries. But the first 6 codes are absolutely similar. So every study, everything you do will happen on this code. So you need to get it right. So I'm sure the guys who are doing exports, they already have this. And using those codes, we basically are going to use amazing tech tools where we're going to study the whole world as our market, and not only on one parameter, but into multiple parameters. And we're going to talk about each and every parameter in our next session. So it is very, very important to get the HSN code absolutely right in the first code. And initially, we always say that start targeting with 10 countries. 10 countries you want to focus on based on multiple factors, based on your own strengths. And then from that, segregate that to 3 and start building it up from there. So initially, I would strongly recommend to focus on 10 countries. And within that, maybe to start with, if you're a newcomer into exports, just to focus on 3 countries. As you create your own goals, your SMART goals, unless you're a 100% export-oriented unit, and if you're doing a normal B2B, B2C business in India, you need to have export goals. Unless and until you have clear-cut goals for your export market, I don't think you're ever going to achieve that. So have written SMART export goals, and then, of course, keep working on that, keep checking on that, and that is how you're going to actually get that. Something we need to do is documentation you need for exports. All the exporters know that you need IEC codes, you need AD codes, you need all kind of shipment knowledge, the LCs, and there's lots and lots of documentation which goes on depending on the industries. A lot of certification which goes on. So you as an exporter for your own product or your own services or your own raw material, you should be aware of each and every document well in advance so that there is no ambiguity and you don't have any problems later on. And of course, brand identity. Brand identity is something which is very, very clear. When I talk about brand identity, I talk about your website, I talk about your social media, I talk about your emails, I talk about your normal letters. So all of it should be very international and it should have a similar look. People should recognize you with your brand identity. So you really need to create an amazing, amazing brand for you. And of course, when we call about self-study and market study, these are the things which you really, really need to introspect each one of them. And once you say you are ready, then of course you are ready to export. Or if you are exporting already, and if you want to improve on any of these, do that so that you can exponentially grow your exports. So this is the first thing which we don't normally cover in terms of understanding your strength. The second one is understanding global markets. Now we assume that you are absolutely ready with all the things we talked about. Now how to understand global markets and how to actually study that. So there's 6 factors which will help you grow your exports exponentially. The first one will be, as I said, that shortlisting 10 countries and then top 3 focus countries based on multiple factors. And how do we do that? Let's do a small study on your own industry, on the textile industry. When I started studying about textile industry, I mean, we are normally giving export training on multiple platforms. But when we talked with Sonil, we started studying on this, we found that 5 major categories which are doing amazing exports worldwide. It was cotton with 52 as an initial code, 58 is special woven fabrics, which is tufted textile fabrics, so tapestries, trimmings, embroidery. 61 is article and apparel, clothing, accessories, knitted, and 62 is not knitted. So these are the 4 different kind of categories which we shortlisted to kind of run some tools which we use to find out what kind of markets, what kind of opportunities you have as an exporter. And to my surprise, I found there are 14 HSN code. In total, there are 93. And textile industry in itself has 14 codes. So that means the kind of potential you guys are having. So when we started doing the study, the first one we did was a cotton exports. It includes the entire cotton periphery. So the biggest exporter in the world for cotton is China. And second one is United States. And third one is now India. And India has an amazing opportunity to grow further. And I'll tell you why I'm talking about that. So this figures you're seeing here is essentially in US dollar thousands. So this is the kind of market you have. And when we see further down, you can see that India is sharing 10.8%, 10.8% of total exports from the world in the cotton industry. We actually went down deep and talked about the cotton exports in India. Now this again is a huge amount. And you can see here divided into further 5 to 05, 08, 21, 09. So different parameters. And you could find out using these tools that what is the particular exports you are doing for your own category, for your own product. And further, to actually understand the global market, we did a study on imports from the imports point of view of various countries. So can you believe China is the biggest importer of cotton as well? It's the biggest importer and of course, it's the biggest exporter. But this is what they do. They buy maybe pure cotton and then convert them into multiple things and sell further. Bangladesh comes second, Vietnam, Turkey. So India comes sixth on this. In terms of imports, I'm talking about. So this is how you use technology, study the global markets. And this is how we found out that you can actually find the genuine buyers. So this one, I did a study for the buyers of cotton in Turkey. And you could actually find out the names. By using technology, you can have thousands and thousands of companies who are genuine importers, who are already importing. They might not be importing from India, but they might be importing from any other country, but they are buyers. And that is something we all look forward to. So you need to use technology to find out this. We done actually another study, which was an apparel on basically knitted and crocheted material on 61. And we found again that India here is at number 6 in terms of export. We found out how much export India does and what is the percentage of that export. Based on each and every segment, we found out what is the percent of India export to this. And the import of this is both for men as well as women. And you can see here again that India is not in the top, but yes, it is definitely there in all the factors. And you can find out what is the normal value, what kind of export is happening worldwide. And these are the tools which really help you to study the market based on various parameters and then choose the top 10 countries where you should start exporting. I've tried to find out buyers in Belgium for knitwear. And we could find an amazing list of buyers from this. Now, a lot of times we've seen that people buy data from customs to get in the exporters and where they're exporting. But that is only the data from India. Your competition is just not India. It is international as well. So you need to actually study competitors worldwide if you really need to take your exports to the next level. Check your competitors, something very, very important. Your competitors within India, your competitors outside India, and your competitors in terms of technology. So you need to see where you can actually be better than your competitors. If I have to buy from four people, I should know what you have which others don't have. So try to find a niche, try to find a USP, and of course, study your competitors to the core. STEEP factors. STEEP factors are social, technological, economical, environmental, and political factors which keep affecting the global markets. A country which is doing amazing at one time, some political turmoil, and the whole country is gone. So you need to be aware of STEEP factors and decide to do your exports accordingly. Tariff and non-tariff. Tariff, as you all know, is essentially the import duty which you have on your products. It is very critical for you to find out that the company you want to export, what is the import duty they have. Because you might have an advantage. You might have an advantage where the import duty, importing from India is lesser than other countries. Why so? That is because of the trade agreements we talked about. There are amazing trade agreements which Indian government has done, like Afghanistan, Asian countries, Bhutan, Japan, Korea, you name it, we almost have it, based on various industries. If you're aware of that, then you can capitalize on it. So be aware of tariff and non-tariff. Finding genuine buyers, something which I covered earlier, that you can find out genuine buyers for your importers, for your particular product from every country in the world, using technology, using tools. So understanding global market is really, really important. Trying to focus on the top 10 countries where you want to grow your business, and then shortlisting 3 and starting with that. And of course, making a plan for each and every country separately. So this is something we covered in this section. Next one is be export ready. Something which most of you will be by now if you're exporting. 60% of you are exporting. But there are 12-point strategy for a regular growth in business, which each one of us has to follow. 2 fundamentals, knowledge and positioning. You should know everything about your product. If you don't know it by now, know it. You should be master of your product. And of course, positioning of your product. How do you position your product? That is something very, very critical for a regular growth of your business. Then the 4 pillars. We talk about your product analysis, your market analysis, your competition analysis, and your business model. What kind of model you work with other countries, whether it's white labeling, whether you're having a partner selling with your own brand, having a country partner and selling and making your brand bigger in multiple countries. Business model need to be very, very clear. These are the 4 pillars. And of course, we talk about the 6th segment, which is procurement, which is market segment, legal requirement, marketing, sales, and execution. So these are the 12-point strategy which each and every exporter should know and should always consistently keep doing to regularly grow their exports. Legal requirements and product certifications. You all know, especially for food and pharma, and of course, industries which are more into cosmetics, they have amazing kind of certification needed. And for your own product or for your own kind of raw material, you need to know what kind of certification is needed. All kind of legal compliance, whether in your country or the country you are exporting, you should ask from your buyers and be aware of it and be ready before you actually even start exporting. There are multiple organizations you must be aware of. There are export promotion councils, there are bodies like FIO, there are a lot of amazing other bodies in which the government is actually helping out exporters to grow further and give you almost a lot of opportunities to exhibit outside, to actually go for buyer-seller meets in various countries. So you must be aware of your own federation, be a member of that so that you can avail all the possible things. Something which is very, very critical for any exporter to know are the Incoterms, the shipping terms. When I started, people say, why don't you give CIF? And I said, yes, why not? Because I thought I'm selling, why not do it? But then I understood CIF is my liability till the time he gets it at the port, his port. And that is why then I understood and found out there are various ways. And essentially, it is about your obligation. So if you can sell something X works, nothing like it. Because there, your obligation is still your factory only. The more further you start going, more further your obligation is there. So it is about passing your obligation to the buyer, and you do it fast as possible, it is better for you. So it is very, very imperative for each one of us to actually understand the Incoterms in detail. The pricing strategy, something very, very important for international market. There are various pricing strategies which you do on, and the price calculation for your product for international market is something which is very critical. You have to see whether you're talking about masses, you're talking about big quantities. Of course, when talking about big quantities, the percentage you get as your profit margin is not that big. You need to look at the drawback. You need to look at what exactly you're getting in your pocket. And then you have to make strategy according to that. You also can see the average selling price of your product in that country to the retail, and then try to recalculate downward in terms of what can be the buying price of your client. And this strategy will be different for each country. Asian country different, African different, USA different, UK different. So you need to have a pricing strategy for each and every country. And that is something which is very, very important for all exporters to do. The profit margins, as I told you, depends on whether it's quality, whether it's something unique you're providing, some kind of unique embroidery which is hand done or something like that. You can have smaller quantities, more margins. Or maybe you're giving them some eco-friendly product, some sustainability kind of a thing. Nowadays, everybody is really, really conscious about what kind of products they're importing for their countries. But documentation, you should be all aware of. For any export process, you should be absolutely clear about each and every document you need. Because if you fail on a particular thing, it can be a weight of giving the shipment to that party maybe 10, 15 days, and you will incur a lot of cost. So documentation is something which is very, very important. And documentation, like basic documentation, we talk about what kind of packing list and what kind of invoices you need to give, what kind of papers you need to give with the LC, and how to actually work on the LC is something we'll talk about in the next part. Payment methods. What are the various payment methods you have worldwide, whether it's LC, against bank checks, advance, or open credit? But how do you do it? Do you do using ECGC? Do you take some kind of insurance from India? So what is the method you're going to use? It is really, really important for you to understand each and every method. Of course, the best method is to give 100% advance, but that is not something we all get in exports. So yeah, payment method is something you very, very, you should be aware of. And there are amazing trade finance opportunities which are available. You must be knowing who are doing exports, LC discounting, special kind of trade finance which can be availed from banks outside India for you for actually doing that exports. And when it is more than 5 crores, even Indian government has Exim Bank which can actually support not only you, they can also support your buyer for that. So India government actually runs amazing initiative. As I told you that they have amazing trade policies with a lot of countries which help you get better from your competitors across the world. They give you drawback on some of the products depending on your product. They also have amazing policies where they ask you to exhibit and take a part of that into MSEIS schemes and other schemes which you have along with your bodies. And of course, something which is very, very important is to find out whether the buyer who's buying from you is genuine or not. So buyer genuinity is something which you check. So there are some technology and tools which we tell when we talk about in detail about how can you check the buyer genuinity. I mean, I won't say up to 100%, but almost up to 90 to 95%, you can check the genuinity of a buyer using technology. And of course, as any other business, export has its all risks and challenges. And you need to be aware of the risks and challenges you have in your own segment, in textile segment. You need to be aware of the right people, right kind of payment terms, right kind of LCs, from the right banks, from the right kind of countries you need to buy in. So risk and challenge is something we need to really work on. So be export ready essentially means be ready with all the legal requirements, the safety certifications, legal procedures, Incoterms, pricing strategy, profit margins, all documentation, payment methods. So when you are absolutely ready with this, that means now you're ready to focus on the 10 countries or the 3 countries which we shortlisted, or even more with whom you're already working. So the next one is digital marketing or marketing in general. Why do you need marketing? That is something we really need to understand. Marketing is a process which does not give you results in a jiffy. It's not something which is just you start marketing, you start getting results. Marketing is a long-term strategy. But trust me, marketing builds your brand. Marketing makes people to come looking for you. So marketing is something which is very, very essential. And each company, each individual has to work on their marketing strategy, create a clear-cut marketing strategy, and of course, start working on the digital marketing. Digital marketing where you create amazing websites for yourself, majorly looking at the website should be more international. It should be more or less compliant. But 83% of people are now opening websites on mobile phones. So it should be mobile savvy. It should be absolutely running spot on Androids. You need to work on your keywords. This is very, very important. Keywords are the words which you use in the website so that when people are searching for some company like you, they should be able to find you out. So in-depth study of keyword is something which is very, very, very important. You need to understand how to create engaging social media content. You need to have content which is simpler. You need to have content which will show that you know about your product, you know about your market, you know about your strategies. So you talk more about what you know, something new, something innovative, than just selling all the time. But create amazing social media content. Nowadays, videos are a viral thing. Everybody has to create videos, not necessary to sell your product, but tell people about what you excel in. What is something you're doing different from others? What is something which make you unique? Your innovation. So these are the certain things which you really, really need to work on. Email strategy, what kind of emails you should write, how you should write, where to write, when to write, how to reply, what to reply. All that is really, really critical for an export thing. Because export, dear friends, is a game of patience. It is not something which you're going to get like rocket science. No, it is going to take time. As we all say, trust builds time. And so is the international business. But yes, once you build up your relationship, it starts going up. And then the growth is exponential. So the start might be slow, but the growth is always exponential. Of course, you need to build relationship with people. You create your Facebook business pages, LinkedIn business pages, not your personal pages. This should be about your own company. Akhil has raised the hand. Akhil will be taking questions at the end of this session. We'll be finishing this in another half an hour, 35 minutes. And then, of course, we'll take each and every question by you. Of course, create ads which are most engaging, where you can get leads, where you can collect data. Data is the king. You need to start collating data from people from your industry, a qualitative data. Data is something that's going to help you build up your business in a very, very structured way. Of course, similarly, have a LinkedIn account, create it, and start doing marketing on that. Something called landing pages, which has really become a rage now, but it is very important. The products or services which you want to focus on, you should run your ads on social media just on that product. And instead of guiding the person to reach to a website, you're sending them to a landing page, a page where you have information about that product, which you want to highlight, which you want to sell. It will give you amazing data and people will have a focused look at your product. Something which is very, very critical for each one of us to actually work on. And of course, create a social media calendar. Because if we say that we'll keep doing it, it will never happen. For consistently doing a social media, you need to create a calendar, maybe for 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months, depending on how much time you can spend on one time, and then take it over. So we don't say that as a business owner, you need to do your own digital marketing. But we say that as a business owner, you should know what is digital marketing, how it can help you, so that when you actually assign it to an agency, you know what kind of results you're expecting and whether it's the right amount of budget or not. So digital marketing and branding is something absolutely important for each one of us more than ever today, because we are not going to go and meet people face to face for quite some time. So having your digital presence is something which is very important. And I'm sure most of you are already working on it, but you need to really take it to the next level and really make it really world class so that you can definitely have more exports. Now, the various ways of marketing which you talk about, and one thing which we all know and which we all used to do is traveling and going and attending exhibitions. Something which my friend Gagan is going to cover about, that how you can use virtual exhibitions, events to take your marketing to the next level and make amazing connects with people. Over to you, Gagan.
All right. Thank you very much, Sandeep. Thank you very much, Sandeep. So as Sandeep mentioned, it is exhibitions. Why we decided to actually include exhibition in this export-oriented session is because exporters, a lot of exporters, 100% sometimes the kind of leads which come to them are actually through exhibitions. So whether it is the exhibitions which they do within India or the exhibitions which they do outside India, all the leads get gathered through that. And it is these exhibitions and the ROI through these exhibitions is something which is so very important. As an exporter, you need to build your marketing strategy. You need to look at it that where all your business is going to come from. And let me tell you, with the virtual thing coming up, with the whole COVID scenario, and practically there are no exhibitions happening for the next 1 year. We are listening. I am following up exhibitions every single year with my experience of past 20 years in the exhibitions. And now I see that the physical exhibitions, somebody's saying is going to happen in November, somebody's saying December, some exhibitions are postponed till next month, next year for that matter. Now why did we decide to include and compile the exhibitions thing within this session? Because we know that the exporters cannot just do without the exhibitions. So we decided to actually talk about how are you now going to bring more and more leads. And one way to bring these leads in this current term is actually that you need to have a strategy for online shows and virtual events. It is very important. But the problem with all our exporters, friends are, and I've been consulting a lot of these exporters these days, that they don't really know what are virtual exhibitions and how do you really, as an exporter plan, how do you really get the exhibitions and the virtual exhibitions and the exports now do it, because it is so very important for us. So we thought, why not give you a little hint of how the virtual exhibitions work and what are these virtual exhibitions. Now there are a lot of questions which are coming to us these days. The first question, which is in everybody's mind, how do I go virtual? Do I need to attend a virtual exhibition, or I wait for physical exhibitions to start again? What do I do? But if the physical exhibitions don't start sooner, what do I do? How do I get my leads? That is a very big challenge. Now, what do I have to do to hold my exhibition? Or to be a part of another exhibition? I don't know whether I have to hold my entire exhibition online on my own, or I have to be to be a part of any other exhibition. I have no idea about it. Now, this is what people are feeling right now. And if I have to be a part of any other exhibition, what preparations do I need to make to be ready for these virtual events? Now, this is one of the biggest challenge. So let us clear the air about these virtual shows. How are these exporter friends of ours are going to get more leads and start building more business even in these COVID times? So first of all these exhibitions, it is organized by an exhibition organizer like in the offline space. As we are talking today, there are 2 exhibitions which are happening today, virtual exhibitions. One, closer to your field, it is the Indian Handicraft and Gifts Fair, which is happening today. It has been going on from 13th till today is the last day. Number 2, there is another security exhibition happening. All they're happening online. Now, they are all organized by an organizer, the same organizer. In this case, a lot of you will soon see exhibitions being planned by the Apparel Export Promotion Council or any of your councils which are there. If you go and participate in international exhibitions, they would have already reached out to you to holding an international exhibition and be a part of it. So it is organized as on a pre-decided platform by an organizer. Now, the virtual space which an organizer chooses is almost similar to the offline space. It has got the conference area, it has got an exhibitor area, booth spaces, a lot of resources, etc. Now, the organizers gives you a virtual booth. Now, this is where the whole thing comes up. The organizer gives you a virtual booth, and once the visitor is guided through the exhibition area, the networking area, and all these places, they then reach out to your booth. And once they click your booth, I'm going to show you some pictures in the next few slides, that digital magic has to happen. Some of the digital magic what Sandeep spoke about. Now, what is this digital magic? Let's see. Now, before clicking to talk to you on that booth, right, they will be able to do the following. They will be able to see your website. They will be able to see your brochure. They will be able to see your product videos. And they will be able to see what kind of social media posts which you have been putting. So they will practically be able to see everything about you before they decide to talk to you. Now, if at this point, these people are excited seeing your brand, seeing the value you're providing, seeing the website and all that, they will feel confident in reaching out to you. And what they will do, they will click a button to start video conferencing with you, or they will click a button to start chatting with you. But if they are not impressed with whatever you have put in there, the videos or the brochure, the product catalogs and all that, they may decide to not really connect with you, and they will move on to the next exhibitor. Now it's again like the exhibition in the physical world, it's a competitive world out there. Whosoever has put in better presentation is going to get more visibility and more leads. That is how it works. So you have to be digital ready, is what we have to say. Now, will this digital upgrade help in future? Now people are asking, is this temporary? Is it something which we have to do it now and later on we move to physical exhibition, everything is over? No, this is not how it's going to go. As I foresee, and as the biggest of the exhibition organizers in the world are talking about, there will be a new normal whereby the physical exhibitions as well as the virtual exhibitions are going to be hand in hand. So what these organizers are going to do, they are going to hold a 3 to 4 day physical exhibition. Along with that, they are going to have a long 1 month, 2 month, 3 month virtual exhibition where they're going to give you space and give you visibility, which is more value for all of your exhibitors. So all this branding you do and the way you showcase, it is going to make you credible and bigger, and this upgrade will help you appear more credible when the shows goes offline as well, because people will not stop looking at these things even after the physical exhibition start. They would like to see your website. All of this is something that they still like to go. So let us see some pictures of how these virtual exhibitions really work. So this is one such exhibition which was organized by FICCI 2 weeks back. This was an exhibition on medical devices and all that. Now if you see, this is how the lobby is as you enter in a big lobby of a big exhibition area. I am able to see session halls, session hall 1, 2. I'm also, if you see below, I'm also able to see session hall 1, 2, exhibitor floor, exhibitors. Now if I click session hall 1 or 2, I will be able to go into a live session whereby people are speaking live, and you can just see their panel discussion happening, and all that is possible. Now the moment you click the exhibition floor, suddenly, see, this is the session live I was talking about. The moment you go in, you will be able to see this kind of a live session. But if you actually click the exhibition floor, you will be able to see halls like these, 1, 2, 3, like the way you actually go in an exhibition, you see various halls, same way. Now you click one of the halls. Let's say I click the medical devices or the pharmaceuticals, whatever it is. What I will be able to do, I will get an option actually to choose the exhibitor also, and through a keyword. So for you as an exhibitor, putting keywords there is going to be critical, because people will find you from keywords. So if you see first exhibitor here, Sri Tatwa, have put in a lot of keywords. Somebody puts food, they will appear. Somebody puts home care, they will appear. So you have to be also aware of the kind of keywords people are looking for, and it is easier to find. In our advanced programs, we do talk about this. Now, once I click the exhibition floor, I see stalls like these. And when I see stalls like these, I am then able to see which one do I have to go to. Let's say I decide to go to Apollo Hospital stall, and I clicked Apollo. This is where I am. Now I see this. Now you see this. Before I actually decide to do this video conference, on the right hand side, if you see, there's a tab called video conference. Now I will first, before getting to do a video conference with the exhibitor who's sitting on the other side, I would first like to see on the left hand side, if you see, a video of what they have uploaded, some of the documents in the product catalog. I will be also able to see on the right hand side, if you see, social media contacts, I will be able to see. All of this, I will be able to do that. And if I feel confident and I feel credible, and I feel that they have a good brand, I should connect with them, only then I would press the video conference button. Otherwise, I will straight away move on to the next segment. So I would suggest, as exporters, what you need to do is you need to be digital ready, because you need to look at your exhibition strategy. You have to have a trade show strategy, and digital virtual is going to be and should be one of your trade show strategies. In fact, exhibitions, we know, are a key source of business generation globally. So you must work on building a trade show strategy, offline, online, all of it you need to do. Now plan and implement your exhibition strategy to develop your business. That is important. And as I said, that there's an immediate need to look for virtual exhibitions. Learn to showcase products in virtual setup. In fact, next week, we are doing a program again on the Sowtex Network, which is a deep dive into virtual exhibitions and how do you showcase these particular products in the virtual world. That is something which is happening. Now you need to also adopt new technologies of AR, VR, 3D showcasing, holographic displays, and all of this through your trade shows, because this is going to give you good visibility. And having a good digital presence, what Sandeep spoke about, also helps in a big manner. Now, we're talking about exhibition strategy, but I have also been speaking a lot on the communication strategy. Without a great communication plan, what you should have as an exhibitor, as a company, you cannot have a good trade show strategy, and the selling just doesn't happen. So, you know, there are 3 phases of communication in the virtual world, or even in the offline world for that matter. So what you need to do is you need to identify your niche and define your target market very specific. There is no point giving everything to everybody. It doesn't work. What you need to do is you need to go focused, niche marketing, what we call it as. Pick up a product, define what is the target market with regards to this product, and then target, pinpoint, and then sell it to that person. Otherwise, what you will do, you will try and sell everything to everybody, and the sale doesn't happen because one of them has to come and say, yes, this is for me. And if you do a niche marketing with a defined target market, that target market will say, yes, what you're selling is for me. And this is what you need to do. You should be able to differentiate yourself from your competitors. And you as exporters need to start identifying that. Look at what Sandeep spoke about, the data which you took out, why there are so many other countries who are pitching into that particular product into a particular country. Even from India, there are so many exporters, your competitors, who are getting there. Why will you be different? Why will a buyer say that I need to buy it from you? Now, this is where you need to bring in your USP pretty clear. This is something which we actually do a deep dive in one of our training programs, which we will talk about in some time. But communication is required. How do you need to make the price irrelevant, because the day you start showing the value to the people, the price automatically become irrelevant. That is where you need to get there. And you have to be absolutely clear about your communication. Now, what is your pre-show strategy? You need to look at. Now, this is not just about exhibition strategy. You need to look at what is your marketing strategy before these exhibitions. When we talk about, Sandeep has already spoken about the importance of digital strategy and channels of communication. Digital is a very big channel, but there are many more channels of communication. You need to look at email strategy. Sandeep has briefly mentioned about it. How are you using your email strategy to connect with your prospects? And it is not about always sending the promotional stuff. It is also about sending some valuable stuff, so that if I'm a buyer, if I'm a customer, I need to see whatever you are sending is value to me. Now, if I see that as a value, not your sale, not your product, I see what you're writing, what you're sending, is it value to me in some way? And the day I am able to engage with you in that value, I am sold on you. And then I will see you as an expert. And if I'm able to see you as an expert, I will be more than happy to have an interaction with you. And this is why whenever you're using the email marketing or digital marketing or social media strategy, you need to build yourself as an expert. And then whole of this thing you can use to drive people to your booth. Now, this is what you call it as a pre-show marketing strategy, whereby you drive people through your different kind of marketings to converge onto either a virtual exhibition or a physical exhibition. That is what we call it as.
Gagan,
yes, go ahead, Sandeep. You wanted to say something?
Stopping in between, Gagan. Actually, there's a question on the Q&A session, which is very pertinent to your session. Somebody is asking, what is the difference between a virtual exhibition and a normal physical exhibition? Can you please just elaborate a little bit before we actually go into the next?
All right, I can quickly talk about that. Thank you very much. Now, difference between a virtual exhibition and a physical exhibition is that physical exhibition happens in, as I said, in a venue. You have, I'm sure you would have done a physical exhibition, gone to a physical exhibition, which let's say Pragati Maidan or Bombay Exhibition Center, BIEC Bangalore Center, all these are physical venues. You go there, you put up stalls there, people visit there. Similarly, a virtual exhibition is a virtual space. It is a space like I showed you some of the pictures. You actually log in from your laptop into a place. The moment you log in, you see this screen. So all the booths, what I showed you, are all virtually present exactly, this is my computer screen click, which I have done. I'm able to see all these booths just like that. I click on one booth and I get into a detail. As a visitor, it's like when you are walking through the entire exhibition, it is exactly the same way. You walk through the lobby, go into some sessions, you will go into the exhibition hall area like this, then moving into the stalls, getting into one stall and start interacting. So virtual exhibition is nothing but everything on a platform, in a computer, where you log in and start looking at it. These days, when all of these things are happening, that is why the virtual exhibitions are gaining so much of ground. But I would say, in case you want a deep dive knowledge into virtual exhibitions, how to sell on virtual exhibitions, we are doing a program next week. Sonal is going to talk about the program which we are doing next week, especially on virtual exhibitions, a deep dive into virtual exhibitions. So let me go ahead and talk about, even when you go internationally, fix appointments, talk to these people. People are very, very particular about fixing appointments and how they would want to talk to you. A time given is a time given. People stick to that. And all the people who are regular exporters know that when you go to an exhibition or you visit an exhibition, if you're given a time, if you're not on time, the exhibitor will move. The person who's going to move forward. And the appointments have to be fixed months and months in advance, because these are busy people and they fix up appointments to the point. So you need to fix these appointments months in advance to actually secure an opportunity to start doing business with them. And once you are meeting somebody in an exhibition, whether a virtual exhibition, in a face-to-face video conference, or when you're meeting somebody physically, there are 7 different type of visitors who come to your booth. Prospecting these visitors is very important. You need to ask certain set of questions. And once you ask these set of questions to these people, you will know what kind of visitor it is and what kind of a product pitch do I need to give based on the qualification of that visitor. Some people are very new to the subject. Some people are old. How to talk to whom is a very big question. Right now, we may not be able to cover all those things, but some of our detailed programs do talk about these kind of complete categorization of how to really qualify the visitors and what is your process of sale post a visitor has come to you in a virtual world, in a face-to-face meeting, or in an exhibition. Now, all what I'm saying is you need to enhance your interaction. Now, there's a lot of difference between Indian and exhibition booths when it comes to, now the physical exhibitions will start. Now, the dynamics of the shows abroad are very, very different, whereby people do look at a lot of other aspects. The shows are much more open. People are much more hospitality oriented. They like to meet people by people first, what we call it as. They like to meet, interact, open booths rather than closed booths. And the budgets, if you are going to participate in an international exhibition, you already know that the budgets are very, very different. And the strategy to make them successful is also very, very different, because you need to see the culture shift. There is a huge difference between how Indian shows work and the international shows work. Like I said about the appointment part, similarly, you need to fix meetings in a way that your full day should be filled with meetings apart from having interactions at your booth. There is a huge difference in the international booths as well. Now, capturing the data. Now, one thing which we have been very strongly talking about, the ROI, return on investment from your exhibitions or whatever you do when you meet people also. Do you know that 87% of all exhibitors globally, now this is a fact, this is a challenge, 87% of all exhibitors globally do not have a defined system of lead capturing. And you know what, in India, this number is 96% of people do not capture the leads, are not able to capture the leads. Now this results in approximately $4.5 billion of lost opportunities globally. Now, what I say is that there is a need to capture all possible leads on the stall. And post-COVID, when visitors will become lesser on these booths, it is even more required, because not only capturing, you should also be able to communicate with these visitors, because there are less visitors, you need to convert them. So you need to capture each and every possible data. So capturing and communicating has a direct impact on the exhibitor ROI. More the number of leads you capture, more are your chances of closure. In fact, there is one app which we have developed called the Sero VMS. It is called the Sero Visitor Management System. It is the first app in the industry which captures, it is made for the exhibitors, which captures the leads at the point of origin, when you are on the exhibition booth, in an offline and an online world, doesn't matter, and will be able to communicate with the visitor with an exact product catalog which the visitor accepted, asked for within seconds. So you fill in the data, and you specified a specific product which goes to them immediately within 2 minutes, within seconds actually. A mail goes to the visitor saying, thank you very much for visiting us. Please find it as the product catalog of the specific product you had asked for. We will be looking more to connect. So you have already connected with the visitor. So capturing it makes it possible for you all to capture the data and communicate with the visitors instantly. Now, once you have calculated or captured the data of the visitors, follow up for a perfect closure is also very, very important. Do you know there is an 8-step process in follow-ups? We do talk about in a lengthy module. It's a full 2-hour module on follow-up, which we undertake in our training session. Now, 8-step follow-up, and in 2-step, usually people call them 2 times and they lose heart and done, right? But if you have called them 5 times, you are 80% sure that you're going to get business. And most of the sales happen at the 7th or the 8th follow-up. So I would suggest whenever you're following up, you need to make sure that you go long. And as Sandeep said, the dynamics of international trade are different. When you are following up internationally, what you need to do is you need to follow it up, not too quickly so that the person gets irritated. You need to be absolutely sure that you are following it, giving them their space also, but yet not losing a track. They appreciate it. But too constant and too frequent follow-up, they will not appreciate. You need to be very clear about this particular fact. And you also need to see that between one exhibition and the other, how are you going to build relationships with your prospect. He's a prospect. Sometimes we have seen the sale happens in the 2nd or the 3rd exhibition, because over a period of time, they see you as coming back again and again. You become more credible in their eyes, and basis that they realize that now this person, I'm seeing him for past 2 years, looks credible, let's start talking. Sometimes this happens also. So you need to be credible. And what you need to do, you need to be visible between these 2 exhibitions. It just cannot be that you're meeting in one exhibition and the meeting in the end, not done. You have to keep meeting and you have to keep being visible between these exhibitions as well. So these are all the points which are required right from your communication strategy to marketing, building a marketing strategy and looking at exhibitions. And now more than ever, virtual exhibitions is a part of your communication and marketing strategy. You need to do that. And now that you've captured the leads, you have got all the leads, what do we do with the sales funnel? Let's talk about the sales funnel. Sandeep, would you like to talk about how you build the sales funnel? I can run the PPT if you want.
Sure, Gagan. I think maybe I'll just switch on the PPT. That would be faster.
Yes.
I'll just share it.
Please go ahead.
Okay, so thank you so much, Gagan. That was absolutely insightful. So guys, you know that you've worked down on a strategy, be export ready, did your digital marketing, got a lot of customers need, you got a list of amazing number of buyers, you have understood how to communicate, but the final step is how to convert into a sale, something which is very, very critical. So we have to create a sales plan based on every country we work with, because every country has their own kind of a pricing, own kind of end markets. So we have to study not only the country, but also the mindset of your buyer. The sale is more about understanding the mindset of your buyer than about you or your product. So it's very, very essential to understand the mindset of your buyer and create a plan based on that country and based on every buyer. So every meeting you do, which is to basically finalize the order or to create a final sale, especially in a B2B model, wherein you have amazing number of lifetime potential of that product, you need to do a real homework for that person. Study your competitors, study the kind of people who are working in that country, study what kind of offers they have, what kind of products they have. Are they are talking about more quantity or more quality or something unique which you can offer. So studying a competitor for converting a sales is really, really important. And there are a lot of tools which we talk about in our training program, where we talk about the export potential of every country. We talk about the market price information. There is a average price which is there in the international market, which you know through tools. So you are pricing for the major part of your business should be around that average price. If it is beyond 5 or 10% up and down, it seems you're not into the main game. So you have to be around that. And there is various ways to study that. There's a market access map. There are tariffs and trade agreements which you need to really understand so that you can understand your competitors and beat them to get your business. Follow-up is the key. As Gagan told, follow up. And internationally, sometimes it takes almost a year to close a deal. But once you close the first deal, it becomes then, and if you give a great job, if you give a great service to them, of course, they are your regular clients and they become your network. And then you grow exponentially. Negotiation is something we talk about. A lot of times we have seen, especially in exhibitions, that we go one-to-one these people have amazing negotiation skills. Because know that we are really keen to do business. Sometimes even we show our desperation. So negotiation skill is something which is very important for each one of us as an exporter to know and understand. And where to say yes, and we need to learn to say no. The day we learn to say no, you will start getting a lot of orders. Because you should know, you should be ready with your threshold, you should be ready with your complete strategy in terms of sales, and then negotiation becomes easier. We talk about closing sales, and we talk about closing is important and also not important depending on what kind of business you're doing and what kind of volume you're doing. Something which all of us should actually go in. And I always say, build relationships. If you start working with a company, look for a long-term relationship. Look for a lifetime value of that person. Start small maybe, but then slowly build up that relationship, have a personal connect with those people. And of course, whenever you get an opportunity, get friendly, get like a family. And of course, build a relationship so that you can actually go to the next level in terms of business, wherein they can refer you to more people, they can give you more business, and of course, you can be kind of partners in that country. And we always say, in sales anywhere, especially in export, you have to take massive action. You have to be on the toe. You have to be systematic, but also you need to be consistent. Unless and until you're consistent and taking massive action, sales is not going to happen. So a sale is really complete when you have a complete target plan, how you're going to approach the people, do a complete analysis on the back of it. You are ready with your own things. You are ready with your performance. You're ready with your costing. You're ready with your CBMs. You're ready with everything. And when you send a proposal, the proposal should be complete. They should know that you know your job. And if you have any questions, to the buyer, if there is anything in your mind which is not clear to you before quoting, please ask the buyer. Never shy away from them. Sometimes you feel that, okay, if I ask this, maybe they will feel we don't know. No, you should know. Every small thing adds up. And sometimes that small thing can actually become a problem. So if you really go through this and go in a structured way, sales will not be a problem. And building relationship will make sure that we get regular orders. Once we get the order, something in which most of the Indian companies fail is project management and delivery. Something which I talk to a lot of buyers across the world, they're very off. They always say that we find it difficult to actually have things coming on time with proper quality, with packing from India. This is something which a lot of improvement has happened in this field, but we need to improve more. We need to start calculating from the bad date, the day they want the shipment, from that day to today, when we get the order. We need to have a complete process in mind, and we have to make sure that project is done in a proper way. So a single point project management is something is needed. You need to have systems. You need to have a CRM. You need to have an ERP solution in your system, wherein you can actually start working on each and every aspect of your order, and there should be a single point contact for that client. And always make sure that you are managing your time, things are happening on time, and you are communicating with your buyers on a regular basis. Don't lie to them. Don't say anything which is not happening. Give them the right communication. It will always help you in exports. Some of the companies I have seen even have made softwares where the client can log in and can see the exact position of that order on a day-to-day basis without even talking to somebody. So if you're a big company and looking to expand globally in a big way, you can invest a little bit on these kind of softwares wherein client can log in and can find out where his order is. Quality of your products, a service standard, and the QC standards need to be defined. You need to have quality process for your raw material, for your conversion, and each and every level. At the time you get the order, at the time you get the raw material, in between, there has to be checkpoints, there has to be people checking it, and there's to be people checking those people as well. If you see our country, that is what they do the best. Their QC processes are amazing. There are 500, 400, 100 people sitting in a row and checking each and every piece. If we can't do that, at least have a process where we have the quality and packaging done properly. Packaging is again something which we really have problems in India. So packaging standards and delivery is something we need to really perfect on. Don't worry about a small price here and there. Make sure the packaging is world standard. Everything you pack is world standards. The packing material you take, what kind of slips to be made, any questions you have from the client, do it in advance so that it goes off smoothly. And once the delivery is done, most of us say, my job is done, hand it over, thank you so much. But as I told you, you have to build on the relationships. And building relationships is a lifelong process. So what you need to do is, once the delivery is done, be in contact with that person. Send them the documents on time. Ask them if the delivery is reached them. Ask them whether they like the quality. If they have any problems, try to fix it as soon as possible. And then after some time, maybe check with them, how are the sales going? Keep the communication on. And ladies and gentlemen, trust me, if we do this well, the client will always repeat business with us. It is just not about the price. It is just not about the costing. It is about the kind of service, kind of product, and the kind of communication you keep with your client, which really make the export happen. So today, we talked about a complete systematic approach in terms of starting, building, and growing your exports. Using various tools, finding out about buyers, finding about the potential countries, market analysis, export potential, tariff, non-tariff factors, and a lot of stuff. And this is something we do in detail, a deep dive thing, something we talk about. I think Gagan will take it forward. So we discussed about self-study study, global market understanding, exports, digital marketing and branding, and each and every part of what we have discussed today is absolutely essential for growing your export exponentially. Over to you, Gagan.
Sandeep, would you let me share my presentation? Is that okay?
Yep.
Yeah, give me a moment. Please. Okay, great. Let me just quickly share my presentation. All right. So here we are. This is something which we actually spoke about today, that what all we do. Now, just to tell you that we've been talking about that a lot of these things. This is actually the superficial thing which we have just now spoken. Practically is a tip of the iceberg. And we cover this whole of this thing in a much detailed manner in the 8-week training program. All of this, what you have probably spoken in 15 minutes each section, we take 3 hours and take you in depth about each of these programs. Now, from this program which we run, one of these programs is starting for us in the next 15 days. For that matter, it's an 8-week program every Saturday, which we run from 3 to 6 p.m. Now, what do we cover in this? As I said, self-strength study, understanding global markets, be export ready, digital marketing. We look at the communication and marketing as a strategy, and then role of exhibitions in that, virtual exhibitions, sales funnels, and how to do project management delivery. Now, what if you join this kind of a program which we are running, what are the existing exporters are supposed to get from this program? They will be able to increase their sales by 5x because they will be able to identify and expand your base by another 2,000 buyers. We promise you that. Identify and start working in at least 10 more countries. You will be able to identify and will be able to start working by reaching out to those buyers. And with the kind of project management and things which we talk about in these programs, you will be able to save your export costs by about from 5 to 15% and to add it to your bottom line. Clear profitability there. Now, for new exporters, and I see a lot of them are there today, you will be able to identify 3 countries where you can start exporting and close business quickly. From zero to the knowledge of 1,000 buyers in 8 weeks. Now gain the complete knowledge of export processes and documentation, which is very, very important to appear credible and experienced to a new buyer. And you will be able to have an export vertical ready, up and running in 6 to 10 months. We can guarantee you that. We have other consulting program where we handhold you as an exporter, but right now I'm only talking about an 8-week program. Now offline, when we have been running this program for quite some time now, offline we have been running this program for about 25,000 rupees. Now this is the standard program cost which we have usually. But of course, as I said, we are now this is a special webinar which we are doing. Sonil mentioned that if you have to do this program for us, you have to give us a special offer to my members, to my community. And of course, that is what we decided. We are going to give you a special offer. But before that, in this 25,000 rupees, I'm going to also add the Sero VMS app, what I spoke about, the app which captures the leads and communicate with the visitors instantly, worth rupees 7,999. It's a 3-month membership whereby you have unlimited exhibitions in that, unlimited visitors and unlimited communication. We are adding into this particular package, and this, I know some of you will do physical exhibitions only later. This subscription will be valid for 1 more year. So even if 7 months later, 10 months later, you participate in an exhibition, you will still be able to use this app. So a total value of 32,999, which we are giving it to you. So practically 8 weeks of training plus this app. Today, we are offering it at a special price of 7,999 plus GST. That's the offer which we are giving it to you. At this point, a link has already come to you in your chat box. If you are interested, you will be able to go ahead and take this through this link and pay for it. You can do that. This is a special offer only for Sowtex members today. Now, what we are going to add in this particular thing at the same price, we are also going to add a special consultation from me and Sandeep, a 1 hour hand holding whereby we go through a set of questionnaire about your business, about your marketing strategy, communication strategy, and the entire export strategy, and tell you what are the steps you need to take to move ahead. So 8-week online program, the app which I spoke about, along with consulting, all comes to you in 7,999 plus GST, a special offer for today. So this is what we have today. And if you have any questions, I think, Sandeep, we are all okay at this point of time with the, I think we are good in time with just about 5:20. So go ahead. Should we start the questions while people, some of you want to click the link?
Yes, Gagan, thank you so much for sharing. We have a lot of questions for you. So we'll just go in a flow while majority of the questions are coming on various areas. Let me just, since you have just lastly talked about the virtual exhibitions, we are just taking questions on the virtual exhibition now. Sudhir is asking a question on what is the cost of virtual showroom once our ranges are ready, and can we post it on the dynamic website to get the user attention?
Okay, so yes, you can. I would say the cost is a very lengthy topic to discuss about because I need to know what are the dynamics of the showroom which you're talking about. But yes, in a virtual exhibition, it is possible for you to create a dynamic website. And when you are having this face-to-face interaction on a virtual space, a video call, you will be able to send them a link. They will click the link, go online, and they will be able to navigate through your entire showroom. Now, this showroom can be done in 2 ways. And I don't want to talk much because next week, our whole topic of discussion, next Tuesday and Friday, the whole discussion is all about virtual exhibitions. But today, all I can say is it is possible. You will be able to create 3Ds. You will be able to create live photographic, and how you can, through photographs, create a 3D model and even look at your samples through 3D modeling. Yes, it is possible, Sudhir. Come next week, we will talk about it in depth. We will be able to show you some of those things as well. So I hope, Sudhir, I've been able to answer that question. Yeah.
Another question which is on this only is by an anonymous attendee. Are you consultants doing, do you have an in-house capability to help textile entrepreneurs go digital, including the marketing of the virtual booths, etc.?
So we will definitely be able to help you with these particular contacts. We are consultants practically, and we will keep the job of consulting rather than executing. I would say I am a coach, Sandeep is a coach, we are trainers, and we will be more than happy to train and coach you, and of course, connect you with the right set of people. Yes, we will be able to connect you with the right set of people to do this. Next week, we have two amazing people who are coming who will be able to help you with these kind of things. Definitely.
Okay. So there's a question for from Karan Dhankaini. This is how to shortlist the countries for export as I have to enter export market.
So I think, yeah. So I think there are a lot of apps which we use and which we guide people to find out about which countries you have to see. So you have to see, first of all, which all countries India is exporting, what are the export potential in those countries, what is the trends which is happening in that country, whether it is going up or going down, what are the competitors you have, and it is depending on your own strengths. It can be from top one or two or maybe in between. So there's a whole lot of process which is involved in terms of finalizing the target countries, depending on, first of all, your USPs, your products, and then on the other hand, looking at the tariff benefits, looking at a lot of multiple factors actually to find out and shortlist the countries. And this is something we actually teach in detail in our 8-week course, wherein we give a complete system so that once you get that, you can keep doing that, not only the first 10 countries, to the rest of the 183 countries as well. So, yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much. We have few more questions coming in. I just want to take a small break here. And I just want to continue on the conversation what Gagan just mentioned out, and he just highlighted that there are 2 follow-up sessions. So let me just introduce those 2 sessions also for the people who want to understand. Now, for the people who want to understand more deeply into the virtual area, we are hosting a session. Allow me a second, and I'll be sharing the slide also. We are hosting another round of detailed understanding on how the virtual exhibitions and the breakout sessions can be done on this breakout session, sorry. So these sessions are planned on the 21st and the 24th of July. The price of these 2 sessions is 19,999 plus GST.
This is 1,999.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Thank you, Gagan, for correcting me. I kind of missed just a number here. I'm sorry for that once again. So it's 1,999 plus GST is the cost of these 2 sessions. This session is been hosted by me and at Sowtex, and we would be doing it with Gagan. And apart from this, we have 2 more experts who are joining in this area, Mr. Kabir Lal and Gurpreet Bhatia. Kabir is a content and a video expert who has helped a lot of companies, in the video shoot area as to how to make their complete products, their showrooms digitally ready. How you can create the 3D modeling of your products, how the content can be created, how content can be made in the video. A lot of those kind of information is there. And Gurpreet is from an area of website. He's a website expert. He's a certified UI UX designer. And he has already been our webinar earlier also, where he, along with Gagan and Kabir, will share as to what all do's and don'ts we need to do before even starting to plan for a digital, exhibition. How your digital imaging through your digital website has to be ready. So both these things, we'll be covering both these particular areas in much more details on our upcoming sessions, which is on the 21st of July and the 24th of July. So people who are into the export area or who want to get into the export area, please be with us. There is a special thanks to members of GAIR, which is Garment Exporters Association of Rajasthan, who have put up this initiative. So this initiative has been brought up by the GARE members. They have asked us to do these sessions. Along with that, there is a Noida Export Promotion Cluster, which also wants to do it together. So these are an exhibition which has been done with about 500-600 exporters community. So both these sessions, before we go on and understand this session has been curated considering the apparel and the garments industry, but we will be covering a lot of in-depth, discussions as to what all will go. And this also plays a very important role for the complete value chain. If they want to go out and exhibit into an area which is Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Vietnam, now with the trade-off being coming to a different trajectory altogether, there's a lot of opportunities for Indian value chain manufacturers also to go and start exploring this area. So virtual exhibitions will give a lot of detail inside there. Apart from it, I would like to say a special thanks to our co-sponsor DTech, which they are manufacturing 5-layer KN95 masks. These are certified masks with 5 levels of layerings, and they are having a special certification which is IS 16289 2014, which is designed to pass NOISH, FTP and EN 14683 standards. So these are the export standards, and this is one of the companies which is now ready to market this brand, and they want to they're opening for the export opportunities also. They're also manufacturing N95 mask into 6 models where they're doing 5 layers and 6 layers altogether in different color combinations. So you can reach out to them. The numbers are there, and we'll be also be sharing all this particular information to the members. There is a special opportunity for people who want to come and sign up for this program of for these 2 sessions. So should you sign up now, there is a complimentary 10-piece N95 mask which has been offered by Sowtex Solution, which is going to come in complimentary. So for either of the programs that you sign up now, you will get a complimentary 10-piece box of N95 mask given out to you. And this offer is all valid for today itself. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for listening here. Yes, so we'll want to go back and have the rest of the questions. So Sudhir has another question. How do you rate PPC as an important point in the project management of an order, and also what is the best method for PPE for the export offering? Do you think you can answer, or can I take it up, Sandeep ji?
Sandeep, you're muted.
You're on mute. You're on mute.
I think Sonal, you can take it up. I think it's very, very specific.
So on this particular point of time, PPC is an area which is just opened up, and there are quota systems which has been given up by the government. At this point of time, it is about 50 lakh units which government has given a permission upon. Very shortly, we have been looking into this area. We've been talking to experts, and today we also have a member from the MSME board again, Mr. Rao. So we have been talking very closely with the government bodies to open up this sector. Government has already announced the series of initiatives and measures. Very shortly, we should be getting the exact number of news, though government has already allowed it, but it is still under the control manner. So once we have the official information, we'll be doing it. And at this point of time, I would say we all have to be ready with our manufacturing processes and compliances. Very shortly, this sector is going to get opened up. Where we would think will be on the back foot is that the moment we start getting the orders, the buyers are first thing going to ask about the compliance level, the certification levels. But at this point of time, majority of the export factories do not have, considering it is a medical side of it. Once you please look into this area, ISO 13485, ISO 9001 and BSI, in case if you're looking for the Indian government orders. So all these kind of certifications are very, very important when you are looking into this export market. And this is an area where I would say you have to just be ready, start talking to the buyers internationally, start giving and sharing your samples. And the moment we have this sector getting opened up, which is not very long, we should be in a position to start exporting swiftly. And the world is waiting to start buying it from India now. So that's an area that we want to do it. Another question is, okay, this is from Aman Jathani. Where do you get the insight about the real and potential garment importing countries and buyers? So
I think I told you earlier also that there are tools which we use and which we teach in our training, where we give you an in-depth study of finding out the potential, the export potential, the pricing strategies, the various factors which affects the export, and also the buyer's detail from the perspective of international and every country buyers. And as I said, that you can get data from India about the exports happening from India through customs and various agencies. But what we are talking about, a tool which will able to help you get data from all over the world. So suppose a buyer from US is buying from 6 countries. So you will be able to get those buyers also which are not buying from India, buying from other countries, and you can find out from which countries they are buying, and then can actually make a strategy to approach them. So, but the details of those apps, of course, we actually give in detail in terms of, in our courses, and give a complete way of how to assess those markets.
Okay, thank you. Sandeep, there is another question which is, again, from Mr. Sudhir Grover. What is the right African country for high potential for Indian products for textiles and agro area?
I think Sudhir, maybe just write me. I'll do the study for you, and I'll definitely write you and tell you the right country, which we are going to send me a specific product and what exactly HSN code. I will be able to do the study for you. I'll surely do that for you, Sudhir, and I'll send it back to you. Just send me the exact HSN code, and I'll give you the countries, couple of countries in Africa, which will be good for your market.
Sure, thank you so much. Another one from Mr. Lakshman N. Mr. Gagan, what is your information about the customer-made technical product marketing, needed measurements for individual customer requirements in a virtual marketing?
So if I have been able to understand this question correctly, Mr. Lakshmanan, you are saying that is it something with regards to the measurements in the textile segment?
I think it is a customized garmenting that he is referring out to.
I guessed as much. In fact, I was having this discussion with a buying agent a few days back about the challenges. So frankly speaking, Mr. Lakshmanan, what is happening right now is that the industry is evolving. There are currently a lot of challenges with regards to the product demos. Not only so I would say that the measurement part still comes much later. The first challenge is that even before the measurement, how do you really show the fabric? How do you really get into the detail of what fabric is chosen and what am I going to decide is also a big challenge into the industry. I would say industry is completely evolving. There are new technologies coming every day. The 3D modeling and the 3D sampling way with looking at the swatches is one way of doing that, but the measurements is going to be a challenge. You will so this buying agent we were discussing with, you have to have the fits planned in a way that you give them a little leverage while for the adjustments when you send in a particular sample to the customer. So there are things which are required. Now this is something which is a detail. Practically right now on virtual marketing, it is not possible, but it is some kind of adjustments, planning which you have to do while sending the sample so that the customer there is able to make a bit of a planning and then see it and then take it forward.
So I would like to add up here on just the virtual side on the 3D part. When you want to do a fits, so basically there are tools which are available at this point of time, wherein there are tools from one of the companies which we had on the panel earlier with us, which is Tukatek. And so what this company is doing is, in case if you stand it in front of the camera, it can be your phone camera also. Take a shot and send it and upload that image on the software, what it does it will take a very similar kind of image and the measurements on the software itself. So based on the image on the camera, they will take the complete sizing. They will recheck with you. This is what the tentative price sizing that they have been able to capture. And once you give a go ahead, they can even perfectly design a garment for that. So there is a complete way of doing it. We would be talking about this in a little bit more detail. So the expert which is going to come with us, Kabir Lal, is also ex-Tukatech country head who is with us. So he would be in a position to give you a much more detailed insight. I have seen this software. I know there are a lot of those new technologies which have come in. You can actually do a lot to do with. When it comes to virtual, you do not have to worry about what all things are now possible or not possible. Everything is possible. I wouldn't say everything, but I would say a lot, majority of things which we felt earlier is not possible, and now we feel that this is all, still there is a challenge. But I see with technology coming in and those kind of tools that are coming in, all this are possible, and you can actually take and make the garments and showcase it in the in your particular website also. So we'll be taking up this in our follow-up sessions. Yeah. Sandeep, there is another question from anonymous attendee. I don't know what exactly is he looking for. He said, "Can you please, Will, how can you help?"
What?
He has not mentioned exactly what is the help, but we'll just kind of pass at this point of time, and we'll come back in case there is any other question. So Mr. Mukesh is saying, okay, he has already kind of got it. Sudhir Grover has another question. Are fabric ordering happening by virtual mode, or still physical samples need to be sent, as there are a lot of limitations of couriers these days?
So I can briefly talk about it. That well, you will be able to choose the fabric online, having a detailed look at with the good pictures. You will be able to do that, but the final thing will be chosen after they receive a physical sample. Now the couriers have started a bit, so the final decision has still been happening basis seeing the fabric in hand by the customer or the buyer.
I would like to also add here, at this point of time, there is no such challenge on the courier side. All the international couriers, whether it is DHL, FedEx, UBS, they're all working. So in case if you feel that there are samples to be sent to all the major international importing countries, whether it is US, Europe, the services are available. You just have to look out for the right courier partner, and they should be able to help you out in this particular area. There is a question for Sandeep ji. I think the person has just replied back again asking, how can you help a small manufacturer? I think he wants to know the help, particularly from the point of view of exports.
Sure. So I think depending on the products, and of course, in fact, in a lot of our batches, we have found people who have very small infrastructure, but they have amazing product range and they are starting exports. So what we always tell these people, and of course, if you join our course, we will definitely try to make a point that you can find out your niche, your USP, and then based on that, you start finding exports in small boutique places. Like, I mean, it's not necessarily you're talking about big quantities because you are a small entrepreneur and maybe a company where you have not really big at this moment. But yes, there are opportunities for everyone depending on your strengths. So if your products are good, if you have something unique to sell, I'm sure there are a lot of boutiques, a lot of boutique places, a lot of small buyers everywhere in the world who are there and who are buying. It's not just the bigger exports. So I'm sure we can help people who are big exporters and also the small exporters in various different ways.
So I like to add up here also, since I come from a background on this area. So in terms of the smaller exports, you would be surprised to know the kind of new opportunities which have got opened up for the countries, from the countries which were not earlier buying from India. Korea, Taiwan, countries like Norway, Sweden, who were relatively very low on buying from India, and this point of time they are purposely looking for Indian small manufacturers, somebody who can give them quality goods of international standards. Of course, you need to figure it out. What are the right quality of parameters that they would be looking out for? They would be considering the quantities are going to be small. They would be flexible in terms of your capabilities of delivery also. But this is something wherein whatever you have at this point of time, you should go out, reach out on the various platforms. You can list your products, you can list your capabilities. Even if you are a small manufacturer, whatever is the product line you're doing, garments, home furnishing, or value chain, just share your information and your inclination that you want to export. Africa has opened up in a big way. South America has got opened up in a big way. Australia, a country where we were just doing about 1% of the export. Now they are very much inclined to look into India as their sourcing partner. So this is the, I would say, a very big time which is opening up for the Indian textile sector. Is even in, if it is for the other countries, whether it is Bangladesh or Sri Lanka, there's a huge opportunity where you can capitalize on your strengths. So in case if your strength is cottons, or your strength is jackets or anything, please be focused in that particular area, because when you are going and approaching a new buyer in a new territory, you should definitely look for your core strength. Do not look into the trading vertical, because that is not the right way of going forward. Because in case if you get stuck up, it gives a very bad name as part of for them and an impression. And once it gets established, it takes a very difficult area to get that impression removed. So please be careful in that area. But there are a lot of opportunities. All you need to make sure is make yourself digital. You can be on Sowtex Platform. You can be on any other platform or in Google or social media. But please ensure that your products, your videos, whatever way you want to do it in the best possible manner that you can, but make it online. That is the best way to reach out to the international buyers. And yes, there is a market for the small-time manufacturers at this point of time.
And I must say that it's improving a lot after COVID. I mean, there are a lot of exports happening from our neighboring country, and a lot of people are now preferring other countries than our dear neighbor. So it is an opportunity for each one of us. But yes, we need to be ready for it. We need to be actually understanding the whole nitty-gritties, and of course, grow your presence, grow your brand. And I'm sure export is definitely going to be exponential for a lot of people who are doing the right things the right way.
I may also add one more thing. I think Mr. Sudhirji has some question that some of you who are not really exhibiting and you have certain showrooms of your own, how do we really do that? So for that, there are a couple of new technologies which have come up, Mr. Sudhir. One technology is, of course, creating a 3D showroom. That's one. But if you have your own showroom, there are robotic technologies which have come up, whereby you actually put in robots within specific locations, strategic locations within your showroom, and those robots through a software actually present your entire showroom live. As a buyer, if I am connected with you on the video conferencing, I will be able to control and move my camera through a robot wherever I want to see, and go in depth, and there I see a click, and I click, and I'll be able to see a particular swatch of a particular textile or a cloth for that matter. So all these technologies are coming up. As Sonal has also been speaking, the possibilities which are becoming are endless. It's only thing which is required is to know what are the possible things, because you all need to go ahead in this, get ahead from your competition in understanding these things.
Thank you so much, Gagan, for mentioning that. There is a lot of other options also available. We can take it up in a little more detailed manner in our ongoing sessions. We're a little short on time. We're already overshot by 20 minutes today. Just last few questions I want to take up before we wrap up this session. Mr. Mukesh Suneja, you had put up the question on what is the SSN code for the face mask made from fabric, which is cotton viscose polyester without non-woven SSMMS filter. At this point of time, I will look into this and I will make sure that we'll let you know what is the right HSN code for this particular area. I think we need to do a little detailed analysis for this. I would say for the N95 and KN95 mask, the HSN code is 6307. You should be in the same category as of now, but we will still recheck and we'll get back to you on that. Another question is, are there any virtual exhibitions going on at this point of time? Gagan, do you have anything that you would like to say about textiles?
Textile exhibitions are about to start, or they are in the phase of planning. I know that a couple of exhibitions, Germany, are about to start, or they have already started reaching out to Indian exporters. So yes, those exhibitions. Magic Show is a very big show, which has already started reaching out to all Indian exporters about these exhibitions. If I say regular other exhibitions in the virtual world, there are many different industries which are happening. As I said, today, I visited 2 exhibitions in the morning, one in the security industry and one is the Indian Handicrafts and Gifts Fair. I visited 2 exhibitions. So yes, exhibitions have started happening. You need to reach out to your export promotion bodies as well, that what are they doing with regards to these exhibitions, and because they need to give you a platform immediately so that you can start promoting your business.
I think even Hong Kong also have started doing virtual exhibitions into multiple industries.
Yeah.
So you just need to find out from their website. I'm sure that a lot of exhibition already started, and people have started developing. Even CII is also creating some exhibitions for various industries. So depending on the industries, the exhibitions are on for sure. Yeah.
All I would say is that there are not going to be any other different organizers for these virtual exhibitions. The organizers who have been conducting these exhibitions for 10 years, 20 years, the organizers are just going to remain the same. All you need to do is to reach out to the same organizers and ask them what is their plan of holding the virtual exhibition, because they are also learning. They are also trying to improvise that how can we make it best for our exhibitors. So yes, if not, you will hear soon from your organizers. As I said, Magic has a Magic Show which happens. It's a very big show for apparel industry, has already started reaching out to the exporters in India for doing shows abroad.
Thank you so much, Gagan. I don't know whether we have taken this question from Aman Jathani, wherein he's asked for whether to get the insight about the real and the potential garment importing countries and the buyers. Have we addressed this question?
I think we have. I think Sandeep has already addressed this question. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Sure. I think I'm kind of missed out. I think we have kind of taken up more or less all the questions. I don't see anything which is missed out.
Absolutely.
If anyone have questions, we have shared our numbers and the emails. Sonil is always there with you. Just send an email and we'll be happy to reply to your questions.
Absolutely. Reach out to any one of us. Reach out to Sonil. Sonil will pass on the queries. We will be more than happy to answer your questions. Thank you very much.
Just last thing, Parvinder, do we have any questions from the Facebook side? If there is anything that we would like to take it up?
No, Sonil, nothing in particular. Everything has been covered.
Okay, thank you so much. So thank you for covering. We were live on the Facebook also because today we exceeded our numbers. Our quota was for 100. So guys, I'm sorry, but we could not have taken too many people in this particular session today. So we had a lot of, the session was live on Facebook also. So that was something which we had to do it at the last moment because numbers were already in excess of 170 to 180, and we had to take up that call to make it live on Facebook again. Thank you for everyone to be here. Any final concluding words, Gagan or Sandeep? Do you want to share anything final to the community here?
So I think I will only say to everyone who's doing exports and everyone who want to start export now, that the market is exploding. The market has amazing opportunities. Of course, at this time, it's a bit slow. I'm not saying that it's same as ever. It's a bit slow, but the opportunities are growing. People are going to be hungry to get good products and good services from India. And we can actually make India a hub for amazing products for textile industry. And it's all up to you guys to make each and everything count. Make sure that we always focus on quality of product and timely deliveries. And of course, we can make our country proud, we can make ourselves proud, and can grow our business exponentially. So all the best to each one of you. And I'm sure you guys are going to rock. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. All I would like to say is that what all Sandeep has mentioned, it is so very critical. And without learnings, if we do something and try our hands out, it is not the best way to do that, especially in these times. If you go out planned, working on this, all this model, it will be much more easier for you to go through and to strike initial business, which is very, very critical. And I would say the training program, what we are talking about, and a lot of you have actually learned a lot today regarding exports, the training program which we are offering on that will give you even more knowledge about that. So only thing is, be export ready. It is very important. Wherever you learn from doesn't matter, but be export ready. It is, you cannot go into doing exports without being export ready. Thank you very much for hosting Sonil to us here. And I am absolutely delighted. The number of questions which we have seen today, the way people have responded to our queries and what we've been seeing in the chat box, we really loved being here today. Thanks again, Sonil, for inviting us.
Thank you so much to both Gagan and Sandeep, and the special thanks goes to our association partners, GAIR, Garment Exporters Association of Rajasthan, and NEEC, which is a Noida export from apparel cluster. Thank you for supporting us, and thank you to all the members who have come and joined us from that region. Even though we had today people from Bangladesh, Sri Lanka who had joined us, and there was a special number of people coming from South today. So I would say we had about 35% of the participation coming from the South India, and a lot coming from Maharashtra and Gujarat also. So as we go along, I'm sure this knowledge series is adding up value, and people do feel that learning is one stage which is going to take us much more prepared way of going forward. Yes, the times are tough, but as you learn more, that's where you can grow and change yourself and your business accordingly. And I'm sure we will be coming out of this situation sooner or later. But having said all these things, we are all positive, and there is a lot of opportunity of export which is opening up. And where all the countries, I think, are now currently eyeing on India as to what India can offer. And we all have to just live up to that expectations of what the world is. So with this, I would like to take a special note to both the experts here, Gagan and Sandeep. Thank you for coming and gracing us on the Sowtex platform, and we look forward to having you once again with us. Gagan, we continue this journey with you next week.
Absolutely.
And we would love to have you once more, again, sharing your insights and brilliant ideas.
Anytime.
And we look forward to seeing you. Thank you to all the people who have come and joined us, and special thanks to the members of the Sowtex team who has reached out to each and every members across different verticals. The members, including Parvinder and his complete team of energizing and connecting the people. The marketing team of Sowtex, who also works very tirelessly, reminding with the messages and the WhatsApp and the emailers, sharing it out to all the members to make sure that at this busy time that people are into various things, they are still waking up tired to come and join this session. Thank you once again, everyone, for coming and participating in this session. And we look forward to seeing you on 21st. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.